Today, we're diving into a captivating fantasy action film titled Along with the Gods. In a bustling Korean city, amidst the chaos of a blazing inferno engulfing a towering structure, a brave firefighter named Hong leaps out in a desperate attempt to rescue a civilian. Tragically, his safety rope succumbs to the intense heat, causing him to plummet towards the ground without the cushioned landing he had hoped for. As Hong lies there, his entire life flashes before his eyes. Miraculously, he regains consciousness after successfully saving a young girl from certain doom. With renewed vigor, he rushes towards the girl's family, eager to ensure their well-being. However, despite his frantic efforts, no one responds to his calls. Amidst the turmoil, Hong hears a distant voice calling his name. He spots two individuals in suits smiling at him through the haze. Hong tries telling them to step away from the falling debris, but soon notices the firefighters trying to save a man who looks exactly like the main character himself. The woman Chun informs Hong that he was a paragon during his lifetime, and they're there to guide him through the 7 trials of judgment. Her companion Mac adds that their leader awaits them at the gates leading to these trials, urging them to proceed immediately. Struggling to grasp this newfound reality, Hong gazes at his mourning comrades gathered around his lifeless body. In anguish, he cries out that he cannot die now. He yearns to see his mother once more. Yet, his body begins to rise, drawn towards a colossal portal. The scene shifts to a different realm where countless souls converge towards the gates of judgment. Here, Hong meets Rim, the guardian leader who has assisted 47 souls in reincarnation over the past century. Despite Rim's congratulations, Hong humbly declines, insisting he is far from being a good person. Upon entering the gates, they find themselves transported to a nightmarish landscape brimming with lava, the Mountain of Murder. Make is taken aback by their location, questioning Hong about any direct involvement in taking someone's life. Hong vehemently denies such actions. Rim clarifies that indirect causation through inaction also falls under the purview of the trials, suggesting this could be why they are present. Hong finds himself in a stadium where massive doors open to reveal a fiery abyss. Those condemned struggle desperately to escape the searing flame. The prosecutors initiate the trial, accusing Hong of failing to save a colleague when he had the opportunity, which ultimately led to the man's demise. They demand that Hong endure 5 years within the lava pit as penance for not rescuing his friend. Rim pleads for a thorough examination of the incident. It becomes clear that Hong did everything in his power to save his comrade, but was thwarted by an immovable stone trapping the firefighter beneath. His colleague urged him to leave and prioritize the safety of other civilians. As a result, Hong managed to save 8 lives that night. Rim argues that Hong's heroic actions should be considered when evaluating his decision. Impressed by Hong's bravery, the judge exonerates him from the charges, allowing him to advance to the next trial. Although Hong triumphs in the first hearing, he remains deeply affected by the memory of his colleague's death. He questions the Guardian's motives, doubting his status as a paragon. It emerges that the Guardians have their own objectives. They struck a deal with Yong-hwa, the King of Hell. If they can assist 49 deceased souls in navigating the trials and achieving reincarnation within a century, they too will be granted human form. Their journey continues to the Indolence trial. Chun recounts all the laborious tasks Hong completed throughout his life. He never succumbed to laziness, always lending a helping hand wherever he went. This included knocking down beehives, exposing his team to painful stings, or rescuing a grumpy cat perched precariously on a building edge, inadvertently damaging the owner's Lamborghini. The judge, moved by Hong's contributions, orders the prosecutors to erect a statue in his honor. However, when asked about his motivation for living so fully, Hong candidly admits it was solely for financial gain. Upon hearing this, the judge swiftly alters her verdict, sentencing him to punishment where colossal machines relentlessly chase and crush those guilty of indolence. The Guardians fervently advocate for their defendant, imploring the goddess to reconsider Hong's life story. It transpires that Hong's relentless pursuit of money stemmed from a desire to support his ailing mother and brother's aspirations of attending law school. His tireless work often came at the expense of his own well-being, revealing that his monetary ambitions were rooted in familial love rather than selfishness. Recognizing Hong's true intentions, the goddess absolves him of guilt. The group boards a vessel bound for their next destination. However, their celebration is short-lived as they are besieged by monstrous creatures. The team wields their weapons, valiantly defending against the onslaught. Many foes are vanquished, but the captain is thrown overboard, clinging perilously to the side. Mac valiantly defends the ship single-handedly, providing his leader time to recover. In a final act, Mac strikes a massive stone pillar, triggering a cascade of rocks that ultimately repels the monsters. Mac explains that this phenomenon occurs due to a vengeful spirit arising from Hong's family. To prevent future encounters with these entities, Rim decides to investigate Hong's family background. Visiting Hong's residence, he discovers that the mother is alive, indicating that the brother, Soo, is the vengeful spirit. The malevolent aura attempts to flee, but Rim pursues it relentlessly. A confrontation ensues, culminating in the spirit's disappearance as Rim searches desperately for his quarry. The trail leads to a military base where soldiers discuss Soo, labeling him a deserter. The captain and one of his men appear conspicuously evasive. Disguising himself as a colonel, Rim interrogates the captain about Soo, accusing him of the soldier's death. The captain resorts to blackmail out of fear, confirming his culpability in Soo's demise. On another front, Hong faces scrutiny from the goddess of deceit, charged with composing numerous false wills and testaments for his late colleague, whom he failed to save. He presented these documents to the man's daughter, falsely claiming to be her father. The goddess orders Hong's tongue to be severed as punishment. Fortunately, Rim intervenes via telepathy, defending Hong's actions. It is revealed that Hong also penned deceptive letters to his mother, portraying his life as prosperous and fulfilling. Rim contends that these acts were motivated by a desire to offer hope and comfort to those he cared about, enabling them to persevere. Acknowledging Hong's noble intentions, the deity pardons him. Post-trial, Rim deceives Hong, assuring him that his family is well, while secretly informing the team about Soo's fate. Rim travels back in time to uncover the truth behind Soo's death. He witnesses Dong accidentally shooting Soo after disabling the gun's safety. Dong promptly contacted their captain, who opted to bury Soo and conceal the evidence to safeguard his promotion prospect. Rim observes Soo's body, realizing in horror that the soldier was not dead, invoking memories of his own father being buried alive. Meanwhile, Hong arrives in the hell of injustice, where individuals are frozen for years as retribution for failing to aid others. Thankfully, Hong's profession exempts him from judgment here, permitting him to proceed to the next stage. During the cable car ride, it is disclosed that the Guardians retain only their leader Rim's memories. Make inadvertently reveals that Hong's brother is indeed the vengeful spirit. Upon learning the truth, Hong's psyche destabilizes, shaking the realm and jeopardizing the cable car. However, he regains composure, offering assistance to his companions. The trio reaches the hell of betrayal, where a beautiful goddess judges those who betrayed loved ones by trapping them in mirrors and shattering them. Fortuitously, Hong's exemplary conduct exempts him from judgment here as well. Concurrently, Rim locates the vengeful spirit in a nightclub, intent on avenging his killers. A fierce aerial battle ensues as Rim chases Soo through the city. Eventually, Rim traps the spirit, securing him to a building with a magical rope. He implores Soo to forgive his killers for a chance at rebirth, but this reminder of his betrayal incites Soo's rage, prompting him to break free with a powerful shockwave. Elsewhere, Dong, consumed by guilt, discloses the burial site to Soo's mother. She uncovers the map, finally locating her youngest son while Soo watches from behind. The vengeful spirit approaches Rim, declaring his forgiveness of Dong upon witnessing the soldier's remorse and the revelation of the burial site to his mother. Soo requests Rim to act as a medium, enabling him to communicate with Dong one last time, promising to undergo the trials afterward. Through Rim, Soo conveys his forgiveness, urging Dong not to dwell on past regrets. Meanwhile, Hong arrives at the hell of violence, encountering a massive chasm they must traverse. He plunges into the opening, crashing into a giant rock, but Mok catches him, landing beside. However, Hong inadvertently knocks them off balance, sending them plummeting towards the bottom. Make rushes to their aid as Hong grabs the girl, attempting to save her just as he did before his death. Miraculously, their fall halts at the last moment upon reaching the bottom. The violence trial commences, with prosecutors accusing Hong of assaulting his brother in high school. This act is deemed unforgivable given the brother's malnutrition due to their impoverished circumstances. Hong never sought forgiveness, fleeing his family the following day, never returning. The judge swiftly declares him guilty, sentencing him to a pit where individuals are incessantly pelted with rocks. Chun urgently demands a stay of conviction, proposing to examine the final trial concurrently, as they are interconnected. This risky maneuver requires the Guardians to forfeit their afterlife powers if Hong is found guilty in the subsequent trial. Unfortunately, the Guardians soon uncover the truth behind the fight. Soo wakes to find Hong kneeling before their mother, attempting to smother her with a pillow. Soo intervenes, leading to Hong's violent reaction. Hong felt hopeless, believing death was the sole means to alleviate their suffering. This explains his subsequent flight from home, overwhelmed by guilt. Hearing this, the Guardians lose hope, recognizing the insurmountable challenge ahead, particularly in the final hell of filial impiety. Simultaneously, Rim endeavors to bring Soo to his body for the reincarnation process. Upon arriving at the military camp, Soo is astonished to see his mother pleading with soldiers to lead her to her son's body. The captain intervenes, tearing her signs and pushing her to the ground, causing her to faint. Witnessing his mother's mistreatment by his killer, Soo erupts in fury, transforming into a vengeful spirit. He breaks free, generating a massive tornado engulfing soldiers and opening a gateway to the afterlife. Amidst the chaos, Rim strives to protect the innocents. Make charges through the portal, stunning Soo and breaking the giant statue. Rim capitalizes on the opportunity, capturing Soo with a magical rope, halting the rampage. Meanwhile, Hong's trial unfolds as King Yong-hwa assumes the role of judge. He accuses Hong of attempting to murder his mother and violently assaulting his brother. The king reveals that Hong's mother was aware of his intentions, but remained silent, compounding his crime. King Yong-hwa decrees eternal punishment in this hell for trying to kill the one who gave him life. Suddenly, the realm trembles as a voice addresses Hong's mother. Rim has used his power to allow Soo to speak to her in a dream, apologizing for his brother. Soo narrates how Hong worked tirelessly for 15 years to support them, driven by guilt. Surprisingly, the mother confesses she forgave her son long ago, apologizing for her inability to provide for her children. Moved by this display of familial love, King Yong-hwa revokes the charges, granting Hong permission to reincarnate. Hong bows gratefully to Chun, thanking the Guardians for their guidance before disappearing into radiant light. What are your thoughts on this movie? Share your opinions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content.